think about traditional video production. It used to be pretty defined by two things, right? High cost, often thousands,
Okay.
and long waits, like weeks.
Yeah, a massive hurdle. You're just staring at a blank page, maybe burning through budget on videos that, well, they might just flop anyway. That's really the old way, kind of inefficient for grabbing attention.
So the system we're diving into today, it completely flips that script. It uses a very specific three-tool AI framework,
Hmm.
and it produces Hollywood-level data-backed videos in, well, hours. We're
Hmm.
talking maybe $50 per video max.
That's exactly right. It's basically an attention engine, but built systematically. And in this deep dive, we're going to unpack a complete, repeatable, five-step framework. It's really designed to aim for millions of views using, cutting-edge AI strategy.
Okay, before we really dig into the process,
Yep.
maybe let's quickly define the core production engine here, Sora 2.
It's a good idea.
So Sora 2, it's an AI that creates these just stunning photorealistic, professional quality video clips purely from text descriptions. It's a game changer.
Definitely. And our mission here is to understand the exact workflow, the one that totally eliminates guesswork. It's like a chain reaction. Perplexity for the research part, Claude for strategy and getting the prompts right, and then Sora 2 for the actual production. We're basically building a machine that doesn't rely on gut feelings.
When we look back at, the history of digital platforms, there's this clear pattern that just keeps repeating. For ages, creators were kind of stuck guessing, hoping something would stick.
Yeah, but there's always that small group, right? The ones who figure out the new system first. They get what you might call the ultimate unfair advantage just by mastering the medium before everyone else jumps in.
You think back to the YouTube pioneers, maybe 2006 to 2012. They built these huge, lasting media empires, really because the competition was, well, almost non-existent then.
Exactly. And you saw the same thing with Instagram's early folks or the Twitter power users later on.
That early mastery, it leads to these outsized long-term returns.
Totally. They weren't just, fiddling with new tools. They actually developed systematic approaches for using those tools, while everyone else was maybe waiting or just doing things the old way.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for today. So too, especially when you couple it with this specific AI strategy we're talking about, that represents the next huge opportunity.
Mhm.
And it's not just about making like pretty videos.
No, the goal is systematic. Use data to make viral videos, grab massive attention, and then critically turn that attention into customers, the winners. They use these integrated frameworks, these systems, not just isolated apps here and there.
So if we look at history, the evidence suggests that getting in early with a systematic content machine gives you a huge lasting lead.
Correct. Mastering the new system while the competition's still guessing. That's how media empires get built. Okay, now let's look at the synergy between these tools. Because the power here, it's kind of exponential. It's not just 3 apps, it's a pipeline.
Right. So tool number 1 is Perplexity. We can think of it as the research agent, like a content detective.
Yeah.
And crucially, it finds the data on what already works, what triggers people psychologically in your specific niche.
It's basically a specialized research aggregator. It digs into those psychological triggers, finds proven content frameworks backed by data. It kind of solves that whole blank page problem.
Okay, then tool number 2 is Claude. This acts as the strategy and prompt engineer. Claude's a large language model, really good at critical reasoning.
It takes all that research and basically becomes your creative director.
So it generates video concepts.
It does, but here's the critical part. It systematically evaluates those concepts for their viral potential, and then it writes those super optimized prompts for Sora 2.
Got it. And then tool number 3, Sora 2. That's the production engine.
Your Hollywood studio, basically, yeah?
Yeah.
Turning complex visual stories into reality fast, minutes, pennies.
The magic seems to be in the integration then.
Exactly. Each tool is specialized. It makes sure the inputs for the next stage are already optimized. So the research is solid, the strategy is sharp, and the execution looks professional. It's like stacking Lego blocks of data, You build this tower of validation before you actually spend anything on production.
So thinking about the different roles, Perplexity's key job is really as that data detective, finding the frameworks and triggers before any creative work even starts.
Precisely. Data first, then creativity.
The biggest mistake creators seem to make is exactly what you just said. They skip this crucial research phase. They just rely on, like, a gut feeling.
Yeah, and Perplexity replaces that guesswork with a clear, data-backed blueprint. You really need to use a detailed research prompt.
Mm.
Kind of position the AI to find those scroll-stopping concepts that are super specific to your audience.
Right, so if your audience is, say, entrepreneurs dreaming of a sauce that just makes money, you tell Perplexity to find what resonates with that specific desire.
And the output is gold. It delivers the psychological triggers that actually work. We're talking high arousal emotions, urgency, excitement, FOMO, these pattern recognition hooks, but all tailored to that audience.
And it's specific, right? Not just general advice. It gives actual proven content frameworks. Like the example of the contradiction hook, I'm broke, but here's my $50 K MRR sus.
Exactly. Or the real numbers reveals, actually showing Stripe MRR charts, things like that. That kind of social proof. It builds trust instantly. And it just consistently outperforms vague advice.
So it sounds like using Perplexity's deep research feature is pretty essential here to get that really detailed analysis.
Oh, absolutely. You want the highest fidelity research you can get. Otherwise, you risk starting your whole workflow on kind of shaky ground.
Okay, so the research consistently points to things like showing real numbers using psychological triggers like FOMO. That stuff just works better than guessing.
The data always wins in the end. Yeah. All right, so now we move to Claude. And this is vital. You take all that detailed research from Perplexity, like copy and paste it all, don't summarize, and feed that rich context straight into Claude.
And we position Claude as the expert content strategist
Okay.
with strict requirements, right? Like concepts need to be 15 to 30 seconds long,
Yeah.
vertical 9.16 format,
Yep.
and a strong hook in the first 3 seconds.
Exactly. And Claude generates actionable ideas based on that data. Things like, refresh Stripe 47 times today, I got this instead, or POV, you just got your first dollar on Stripe. They're designed to just hook curiosity and urgency right away.
I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes when I'm brainstorming concepts. Like the AI starts to wander off from the specific constraints. So I really appreciate having this structured approach, giving Claude the exact data ingredients.
That structure is absolutely everything. Which brings us to step 3, the real secret weapon. Systematic evaluation. This is where so many creators fail. They just get excited and run with the first idea that sounds halfway decent.
So instead, we use Claude again, but this time as a content critic.
Precisely. It scores each idea. Criteria like hook strength, pattern interrupts and pacing, the emotional or curiosity trigger, and importantly, algorithm fit like how likely is it to get high completion rates and shares.
And this gives you data-driven rankings.
Yeah.
So concept #1 might score a 9.3 out of 10 because it's got that perfect mix of specificity, curiosity, social proof.
And you only move forward with the concepts that are strategically validated like that.
So that evaluation phase before production, that's the crucial secret weapon to make sure we only produce concepts validated by data, which cuts out wasting budget.
Exactly right. Production might be cheap now, but testing random ideas still isn't free,
Okay, so we have the validated concept. Now, step 4 is bridging that strategy to the actual Hollywood-level video. We use Claude again.
Yep. But this time its job is pure Sora 2 optimization. We tell Claude, okay, act like the Sora 2 expert now. Look specifically at what makes this video scroll-stopping from a technical cinematic view.
Okay, so it's about maximizing Sora 2's unique output quality.
Right. And Claude delivers the detailed technical specs. Things like best practices for getting synchronized speech, how to get specific lighting effects, maybe rendering text overlays inside the video itself.
Let's look at that example prompt again for the Sauce Ideas concept. The detail is incredible. It specifies a 15-second vertical video. It defines seconds 0-4 as a medium close-up. Seconds 4-10 have fast cuts, holographic UI elements, and crucially, it explicitly uses that spoken dialogue label for sync.
Whoa, I mean, just imagine scaling that level of detailed, photorealistic, cinematic quality to like a billion queries a year. That fundamentally changes everything about how media gets made.
It really does. And that precise control over the lighting, the camera angles, the pacing, that's the competitive edge here. It helps you avoid that kind of synthetic or amateur look completely. You're aiming for the highest production fidelity. We should probably remember the pro tips here too. Use Sora on the web for longer, more complex prompts. Aim for that viral sweet spot, 10 to 15 seconds, and explicitly define the dialogue labels for sync.
Yeah, defining those details, camera angles, lighting, pacing, spoken dialogue labels, that's absolutely critical to unlock Sora 2's technical power and get that synchronized speech. Okay, step 5. This is iteration and optimization. Think of it as the compound effect. Your very first Sora 2 video. Probably not going to be a perfect 10 out of 10. But the beauty of this system is it allows for really rapid improvement.
Right. So you create the first video, you post it, and then you immediately ask Claude for suggestions on how to improve it, maybe based on early performance data.
Exactly. You test variations, different styles, different hooks, and then you ruthlessly double down on whatever's winning.
This structured, fast feedback loop seems to provide some huge strategic advantages over the old ways.
Oh, unparalleled. First, the cost advantage. It's staggering. You're going from traditional budgets, maybe $1,000 to $10,000 per video, down to roughly $50 in AI costs.
That's like a 99% cost reduction. Almost unbelievable.
It really is. And then the time advantage, it's revolutionary. Weeks of production labor, squashed down to just hours, from initial concept to a finished professional video.
But I think the real game changer might be the testing capability. Because production is so cheap and fast now, you could literally make, 10 or more variations of a concept?
Easily.
Test them all, see it resonates, and then scale only the ones that are already proven winners. You're basically replacing hope with data.
Precisely. You're operating with a data-driven process where testing is just built right into the workflow. It's not some expensive thing you do after the fact, maybe.
So, yeah, beyond just speed and cost, the massive competitive advantage seems to be that testing speed. It lets creators make and test tons of variations super quickly, scaling only the proven winners.
It's the sheer volume of testing that practically guarantees success over time. Now, even with this really powerful framework, we do see creators make 4 common mistakes. And these absolutely guarantee failure. They're kind of fatal errors if you make them.
Okay, what's mistake number 1?
Skipping the perplexity research phase. If you bypass the data, you're fundamentally just guessing what your audience wants.
Yeah.
And your content, it's just going to fail to land, period.
Right. Mistake number 2.
Using only the first concept generated. You really have to generate and evaluate, say, 10 ideas strategically. Find the one with the strongest algorithmic fit. That quality control step is just non-negotiable.
Got it. Mistake number 3.
Writing generic, kind of lazy, non-optimized Sora 2 prompts. This completely wastes the incredible production quality the tool offers. You have to use Claude to refine those technical cues.
Makes sense.
And the last one. The final big error is having no iterative strategy. You have to plan for multiple variations, plan for continuous improvement after you post that first one. Don't just set it and forget it.
Okay, so once you've mastered the basic workflow, you can scale this up, right?
Yeah.
Into like a predictable content calendar system.
Absolutely. Research on Monday, maybe production on Thursday, analysis on Friday. It just becomes this repeatable profit machine, potentially.
And then you take a multi-platform approach, adapting the winning 10-15-second concepts for TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts.
Exactly. Maximize your reach everywhere with pretty minimal extra effort because the core winning concept is already validated.
And then the whole toolkit, Perplexity Pro, Claude Pro, Sora 2 Pro, the combined cost is well under $100 a month.
Yeah, for essentially unlimited, high-impact content creation capability, the ROI is just... it's unbeatable right now.
So for someone just starting out with this, the single most destructive error they absolutely must avoid is skipping that initial research phase.
Without a doubt, without that data-backed insight, you're just throwing darts in the dark.
So this deep dive really confirms it. Viral success, it's not really about luck anymore or just having massive budgets. It's achieved through a systematic engine.
Yeah, you now have the 3 core pillars. A data-backed research system, a strategic evaluation framework, and that, roughly $50 Hollywood-level production process. It just eliminates the uncertainty, the blank page fear, and those huge traditional costs.
It feels like a genuinely historical moment. And maybe we should keep the Vine lesson in mind here. Those early Vine creators, they built huge media empires with only 6-second videos. Sora 2's current limit, 10 to 15 seconds? Maybe feels restrictive to some people.
Yeah, but that length, it's perfect for viral content on today's vertical platforms. Mastering this fast, systematic process now that ensures you'll dominate when the platform inevitably expands and video length increases.
While the competition is still trying to figure out how to write a decent prompt.
Exactly. The blueprint is proven, the tools are here, they're accessible. The real call to action is to commit to leveraging this massive opportunity now before everyone else catches up and the market gets saturated.